Meanwhile, Nikki Haley is doubling down on her calls for mental competency tests as she tries to catch Donald Trump in the polls ahead of the South Carolina primary. Haley even handed out presidential competency tests to those gathered for her speech this past weekend. All this after the special counsel report questioned President Biden's memory. Emily Finn is in South Carolina. She's following the Haley campaign. What more can you tell us about the questionnaire and Haley's strategy right now, Emily?
Well, Marni, it does appear to be a bit of a last-minute strategy, right? We are coming down to the wire here in South Carolina. Early voting for the primary actually begins today. And as you mentioned, Haley is significantly behind former President Trump in the polls. So this is kind of her last-minute attack on his mental competency. She passed out those cognitive exams. We have some copies of them right here. That was at a campaign event over the weekend. And so we brought these copies to some voters that we saw walking up and down the boardwalk on Myrtle Beach to see if they could take the test. They were our presidential test-taking guinea pigs, Marni. Take a look at how all of that played out. That gets full points. Great job. 1 for 1. Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley kicking off a campaign bus tour this weekend in South Carolina, taking aim at former President Trump and President Biden's age, calling them grumpy old men and challenging their mental health.
A couple of days ago, you had the special counsel come down and say that Joe Biden is diminished, is losing his memory.
Her team handing out examples of mental competency tests to attendees at one of her campaign events. The quiz including seemingly simple questions like identifying animals and drawing a clock. Can you name all of the animals in box number 4? So our NewsNation team asked some voters walking the boardwalk in Myrtle Beach to see if they could pass the competency test that Haley believes Trump and Biden need to take to prove they can serve in the White House. Not as easy to be president as it looks, is it?
No, it's not. For June. Cobra, elephant, and alligator.
Yo, that's better than me. I was going to say Trump, Biden, and... I'm 72. I'm younger than both of them, and I can definitely feel the effects. Just the things that happen as you get older, I assume happen to all of us.
At a campaign rally, Trump brushed off Haley's concerns with his mental competency, but did agree anyone running for president should take the test.
I don't think Nikki would pass the test, I really don't. But anybody running for president, regardless of age, I think they should pass the test.
According to a recent poll, 76% of voters say they are concerned about President Biden's age and health, while 48% say the same for former President Trump.
You keep following Mr. Biden, like, he don't look healthy.
It's not whether someone knows the difference between a crocodile and an alligator. It's you know, how am I following logic?
So the quiz does seem relatively simple. Some of the questions very easy on here. But Marni, what I thought was super interesting about this is you don't even have to pass with a perfect score in order to be considered to have normal mental competency. You just have to have 26 out of the 30 points. But where you run into a little bit of trouble is if you're scoring less than 10. That is severe cognitive impairment. So the voters that we spoke with here in South Carolina, they said they want to ensure that all of the candidates vying for the White House take a test like this to make sure that they're scoring above a 10. Marni.
I think for a president, 30 for 30 seems suitable. Emily, they were all good.
Right.
They were all good sports. All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.